I am at the Goodwill bins Hawaii. It seems like it's in the industrial park. I don't know. I am literally in the depths of Hawaii. Customer parking in yellow stalls only. Well, hopefully I'm in a yellow stall. But we're gonna go in. The pricing here is quite a bit different than any of the other bins I've been to. It's per piece. You can use certain cards for certain things. They start rotating at 11, even though they open at like 9. They rotate every hour on the hour for clothing, and then every hour on the 15. So like 11:15 every 15 minutes. Every hour on the 15 minutes, if that makes sense. 11:15, 12:15, they do hard good bins. Let's take a little gander in, see what we can find in the Hawaii, Honolulu Goodwill bins. Okay, so unfortunately the music is blaringly loud at this location to where you get a voiceover. I know, I don't really do these. I try to keep all of the bins noises in because I know people like that, but I am not joking when it is like a party in here. I am hoping towards the second half of the video there is a second room that the music isn't as loud in, that I am hoping I can not do a voiceover there, but we shall see. So when I walked in, I just started digging into this first room. The first room when you walk in is clothing. Here's the pricing board, which I'll go over while I'm digging here. But this first room is just a ton of clothing, so I am going through that because they are also switching out the second room when I got there. So the second room is all the hard goods, which is just any kind of hard goods. So breakables, shoes, purses, pictures, books, all of that. So no one is allowed even in that room. So everyone has to wait outside and be where all the clothes are here while they switch out that room. So we're going to go through and look through a few clothes here, see what we can find. I am being a little picky, actually pretty picky today, because obviously I am in Hawaii and all of these have to be sent back home with me in my suitcase. So I have to be somewhat strategic with weight and what I choose to bring. So I am curious about what I'll find, but I also am probably going to leave some good stuff behind because I can't take it all. So the pricing board, let's take a peek at what that is while I'm digging around in some clothing. This was really cool, actually. It was a Harry Potter cape, but I wasn't sure if it was worth getting or not, so I did leave it behind. I didn't know if it was like costumey or more like Universal Studios type of piece, so I did leave that one behind. I also really liked this. It looked like a belly dancing costume, possibly. It was completely decked out in sequins and beaded. It was pretty heavy, and that's the only reason I decided to maybe pass on this, is because of the weight. And I kind of wonder if they would charge me per piece, so they would charge me for the bra part and then the bottom part, and that would have been like $4, which isn't insane, but being that I would have had to take it home, I decided to leave it, but it was a really, really fun find. I'm gonna go over some pricing of what everything is. It is very intense, I'm not gonna lie. I had to refer back to the pricing board quite a bit because I didn't really know what everything was priced at. So clothing was $1.69 a piece. If you got 12 pieces of clothing, it was a base price of $17.99. 24 pieces of clothing, $31.99, and then 100 pieces was $99.99. So about $1 a piece, which is not bad if you can pick out 100 pieces, and that is 40% off their original price. This one I thought for sure was Jam's World. I did see a few stores down in Honolulu for Jam's World. It's definitely a place where this brand would sell. It's very bright, tropically print, but I could not find a tag on it. So I was looking everywhere, but I just could not find it, so I ended up leaving it behind. Some other interesting pricing they have in place is called a specialty item for aloha wear. So I assume that's some sort of tropical print or, Hawaiian t-shirt or button down. I'm not sure, but those are individually priced. You pay $4.99 for those. So anything tropically, I was a little hesitant on top of to get because I didn't know exactly what that constituted, but I thought that was interesting. And then also military wear is priced different. So military items are $6.99 a piece. And then if you find any prom or wedding dresses, it is $26.99 a piece. So they are definitely very particular, and I think it's at the discretion of whoever is at the checkout as to what constitutes those types of items. But I was looking out for them when I was there. I don't pick up military pieces anyway. I do like picking up aloha items, I guess you could say, but in this case I just stayed clear unless it was something super special. This I was actually kind of contemplating. It was very Y2K vibes, but it was only, I think it was Ann Taylor or Ann Taylor Loft, one of them. But again, I didn't know if this would fall into a prom dress, which would be $27. Granted, if I got up there and they said that, I'd be like, no thanks. But I don't know. I went back and forth with it and decided to just leave that. At one point, I just started piling stuff on my arm because there is a rule with if you can use a cart or a bin and what you can use it for. When I was searching through things, everyone kept their carts against the wall, and then there was bins you could use as well, and those were all kept against the wall. It did look like all the bins were used, and there was one cart, but I wasn't sure if someone was using it or not, so I didn't want to just take it. So knowing that I wasn't going to get a ton of stuff anyway, I just decided to pile my body with some clothes that I found. So I just started doing that, and so I just keep on making a bigger and bigger pile, and then I go through it eventually and weed it down. This coat I super liked. It was a very interesting brand. I can't remember what it is now, but it was made in Paris or New York. I did look it up and it goes for about $50 to $70, but I just did not have the room to take this back. But I did kind of drag it along with me for a little bit until I decided to just leave it. really liked this flax dress, I believe. I think it was all linen. And I was really trying to persuade myself into getting it, but it did have some bleach spots, which I just wouldn't be able to get out. I do think it would have at least sold with that for $20 to $30 anyway, but with the stains, I decided to just leave that, even though it pained me. These bins that I'm starting to go through, I know I'm barehanded too. I did a good scrub-a-dub when I left here, but I obviously didn't remember to bring gloves to Hawaii, but it's fine. I washed really well when I left. But they have separate pricing for linens, and it's quite extensive. So area rugs, they have price from $6.99 to $14.99. Throw rugs, $2.99. Towels are $3.49 a piece, which seems really high because usually if people are donating their towels, they are done. But anyways, comforters, $9.99. Blankets, $5.49. Sheets, $3.49. Pillows, $3.49. Pillowcases, $1.49. Cushions, $2.49. That's interesting. And drapes are $5.99. And then they have separate pricing for toys. So toys are $1.29 each for plush. And it has to be a certain size. So 12 inches and under is $1.29. But if you find a plush over 12 inches, it's $2.49. So I don't know if people are just like bringing rulers to the bins to see how big a plush is. I have no idea, but it's very interesting pricing. And then toys in general are $2.99 each. And all of these would be in the other room. They wouldn't be in this room. They would be in the hard good room. But just another example of some of the pricing here at the bins in Hawaii. like this dress. It was super fun, but I didn't know if it would be worth bringing back. And again, I wasn't sure if this constituted a prom dress, but I think it was also Fashion Nova, which isn't the highest in resale, so I left that behind. But a few more prices in regards to linens. There are more. I know you were thinking, is there more? Yes, indeed, there's more. Kitchen curtains, $2.99 a piece. Kitchen towels, $1.49 a piece. A folding futon, $10.99. If you come across a fabric bolt, which I have never in all the time I have went to the bins, but maybe it's popular in Hawaii, I don't know. $11.99 for a fabric bolt. Loose fabric, $1.99 per yard, which is kind of a lot. And then also you can do bulk purchasing for these items. So again, there's these totes kind of against the wall, and if you fill one tote is $49.99, two totes $74.99, and then each additional tote is $19.99. So there is incentive to fill those totes, but if you were to purchase those things separately, it definitely would be expensive, but you would want to fill that tote with quite a bit of stuff to get your money's worth. But definitely an interesting pricing model. And at this point, I'm really loading up my arms. So actually the one arm, I think the arm I'm filming with, I'm also holding a bunch of items. So we're multitasking here. And I'm just waiting for the room to open up because they are still filling it. I think it took them 25 minutes to rotate all the bins in that room. And so I'm just spending time doing this while people are lining up, but I really don't like being in the mass when it first opens because people can be brutal. So I'm just letting them go, and I'll just saunter in after a little bit and start going through stuff in a moment after the insanity wears off. But this I really liked. It was an Everlane top, which I think sells for around $25 to $30. So I thought that would be a decent price because I would be paying $169 for it, but I did throw that on the arm, and we are creating quite the pile hanging off me. But I am just gonna search through a little more here until we can get to some hard good bins in the other room. was a super cute Lulu's top, definitely a summery vacation top, but in my mind I was just thinking if I found this at the Oregon bins it would be like 20 cents, so I couldn't get myself to spend $1.69 or whatever it is on getting that because I could find something like that in Oregon. While I was waiting, I was listening to people who were talking in line waiting to go into the new room with the new bins rotation, and someone who is obviously a regular there said that the bins used to be a lot bigger than the location it's in right now. Somewhat recently, I don't know how recently, it's changed to this location, which is one super hard to find, and it's in a strange place. So I don't know, maybe they did it to save money because they weren't making enough money at the previous location, but this location does seem to be a condensed version of the one they previously had in Honolulu, Hawaii. A lot of the textiles I found in the bins today regarding clothing, bedding, that kind of stuff did look like it was at a Goodwill location before it came to the bins. So my bins that I go to in Salem, Oregon has a dual bins to where part of it is items that weren't sold at retail Goodwills, but then the other part is people's straight donations. So this location did not have the ability to do straight donations, and it would be way out of the way, to be honest, for someone to do a donation here at this location. So a lot of the stuff was either stuff that Goodwill picked through in the different locations and didn't want to put out on the floor, or it was items that were out on the floor and priced and didn't sell, and then they came here. So at this point, I thought that I would be doing a voiceover for pretty much the whole video, and so I didn't do any talking really when I went into the breakable room. So I'll just be adding some voiceovers here and there about items maybe I came across. So prepare yourself, but at least you can hear some of the bins noises at this location, whether that's something you look forward to or not, but enjoy. So there was probably 3 bins of purses, so I was trying to go through those. Granted, I got in here after everyone because I just don't like the intensity of new bins, so it's kind of after they've came out, but I'm just going through to see if there's anything really good. If I wanted Vera Bradley, I would just get it back at home. I did pick up a few there to show you, but I would just get those in Salem because I can get them in Salem. But I'm just looking for those rare pieces that would be worth packing. So I'm just going through the bins here, and then I will show you a few more purse bins. And there was probably 2 or 3 shoe bins as well, and then some breakable bins, which breakables are obviously the hardest thing to bring back, so it would have to be like Murano at this point. But right now I'm just going to go through some of the purses. I did really like this one. I sold a Roxy bag and it sold really well, so I did contemplate getting that one because purses were kind of expensive. So again, purses were $2.99 a piece. I'm not sure if I went over that, but if you buy 6, they are $17.99. If you get 12, they're $31.99, and if you get 24, they're $45.99. However, if you do pick up an organizer, laptop bag, suitcase type of item, they are $6.99 a piece. And then shoes, $3.99 a piece. Slippers, so like flip-flops, $1.99. And then there's also bundle deals. So if you buy 6 pairs of shoes, it's $20.99. 12 pairs of shoes, $32.99. 24 pairs of shoes, $44.99. And then boots were also priced separately at $5.99. So back here, it was kind of the Wild West. I'm not going to lie. It was intense. People were squishing in between bins. So I don't know if you've been to the bins, but a lot of the bins have little metal markers on the floor where it kind of locks them in place, so to speak, so they're not moving around. I don't know if they didn't have them at this bins or what, but people would literally move the bins to where you would get squished in between 2 bins. So there were times where I had to wait for one person to get unsquished, and then I could go in and look at a certain side of a bin. So it was a little crazy back here. I am not gonna lie, it was pretty intense, and I was definitely finding that I was getting to the end of my Hawaii bins experience. fit down here.
Thank you.
This is a Anushka, I think you pronounce, wallet, but it is really beat up. So I ended up leaving it, but if it was still in good condition, I for sure would have got it. But a lot of the stuff that I come across at the bins is pretty beat up, even though you can't see it exactly on camera. So some people have like a freak out of me not getting something, but usually if I don't get something, it's one, because I have too much of that certain item, two, I just don't know the brand, or three, the item looks a lot worse in person than it's coming across on camera. So those are kind of the reasons why I don't pick up certain items. But as you can see right now, you might have seen, I'm kind of trapped in this corner because someone else is in this little alleyway. So I had to wait for him to be done digging where he was, unless I wanted to crawl under the bins. So I decided to just look at random stuff in this bin until he was done looking. Again, I've done pretty good with Vintage Roxy, and this looks like a Vintage Roxy backpack. It does need to be thrown in the wash, but it looks like it shouldn't have a problem just being thrown in the washer and having a rinse through the washer and dryer. So I did end up picking that up, and again, that will be $2.99, since purses are $2.99 a piece. So these are a pair of Kate Spade loafers that someone threw back. They are popular. Loafers are popular right now. Kate Spade, however, not as popular. And then the interior of those shoes was peeling really bad, so I decided not to get those. I absolutely loved this sewing box. It was and is probably the cutest one I have ever come across. I love the colorfulness, but taking it back would be a big pain, so I ended up leaving it. But I'm a sucker for a good sewing box, and that one was definitely one of the top ones I found. So a few prices on breakables. Mugs and glasses are 79 cents a piece. Travel mugs $2.49. Plates, bowls $1.09 a piece. Pots or pans $3.99 a piece. Utensils 4 for 89 cents. And there are quite a few I haven't even touched on. So I just did a browse of them. I wasn't going to get many breakables, if any, to bring back because, you know, I would definitely break it. I break it when I'm not traveling, so I only imagine when I'm traveling. But I'm headed out now. I spotted someone found a Gucci or a Fucci bag, fake Gucci, but I'm headed out to check out, and I will give you an overview in the car. All right, that was a wild ride. That was a wild ride. I think mostly because, like, the hard good area is very scrunched and people are just swinging bins everywhere, so it's like you can't fit anyone in certain areas. It's a lot. I think they do switch the clothes out in 10 minutes, maybe. But I obviously can't pack a ton, so I picked through what I wanted, and I ended up getting these pieces, and I will tell you the price of what I paid per item, because here you pay per item, not per pound. They do give you a discount the more you get, but I'd have to go back and revisit what it is, but there's a lot of different pricing structure here, so it's a bit intense. But I got 2 bags. They're 2 vintage Roxy bags. This one needs to be cleaned, like put in the washer, but I like the light pink. I don't know, I really like the way this one looks. I sold this one in like a messenger, and that sold really well, so I decided to get these 2, and they're bags you do pay a decent amount for. So I did pay $4 each for the Roxys. So we got those. We got a pair of Sam Edelman flats. These are really cute style and barely used and a good size. So a lot of wins there. So I decided to get those, and I'll give you a price when I get my receipt here. And then I got 4 pieces of clothing. I got an Everlane shirt, organic cotton, size medium. I got a Anthropology dress. The brand is Willow and Wind, size medium. I love this. This is so cute. We got a Zara romper in size extra small in like a blush pink, and it is button down. Very cute. And then I got this Disney Star Wars flannel, and it is Crush the Rebellion. What size is this? Size large. So those are the things we got. Not a lot. And the like cart bucket situation was confusing, so I didn't really understand fully how that worked. But all right, let me give you a breakdown. Okay, so bags $3.99 each, so I paid $7.98 for both. The pair of shoes were $3.99, and the clothing were $1.69 a piece. So I feel like you can win in some areas and lose in others. Like the bags you pay up for. I don't know. If these weren't vintage Roxy, I probably wouldn't get them, but they do sell well, so I did get those. But that was our go at the Goodwill outlet in the corner of the corners of the corners of Oahu. All right, I'm off to a Goodwill next to see what we can find there, and we will see what other treasures we can find. Thanks for coming with. If you could give this video a thumbs up, I would so appreciate it. It helps so much. Who knows what kind of Goodwill bins we'll be visiting next in what state, but I will obviously bring you all along with me. So thank you for coming with. Thank you for having patience with the voiceover. The music was very loud, so I had to do a voiceover. But I appreciate you all, and I will see you on the next one, or maybe at the next Goodwill. We'll see. All right, bye. Okay, I have found my way to a Goodwill in Hawaii. Parking anywhere here is an absolute nightmare. But I found it, and I parked, and I'm alive. So, win-win, win-win-win. All right, let's go into a regular Goodwill. Oh, I don't know if I can go in this one. Do I go in that one? In that one. Do I go down? I'm not really sure. Okay, I will be back, and we will be in one of the entrances. Wow. You can tell how many people travel. I've never seen so many travel neck pillows. $5.99, $3.99. We have a massive plushy section. Decorative mushroom pillow. A mystery. $5 though at Target. Oh, look at this pig. $7.99. Oh, he's got a chipped ear. $2.99. Oh, just kidding. $7.99. Oh, this is kind of interesting. It is $6. $7.99. This is like the backpack section. 10 Target. $8.99 Adidas Disney collab. $12.99. There's a purse section. Let's go look there. Oh, we got a leak. I don't think they have a color. Oh, just kidding. Let's look at the rest of the hard goods. I don't think they have a color of the week. It's like a bunch of Target stuff. $4.99. This is cute. Casa Ideas. $4.99. That looks kind of nice, actually. The Rose Soak. $7.99. $5.99. It was $6 at Disney a long time ago. Okay, let's go around. Oh, look at this Tweetyberg ice bucket. Made in Taiwan, Warner Brothers Studio, 1998. $5.99. That is cute. I'd probably get that if I was at home. Made in Japan, $5.99. Oh, it looks like mugs are $1.19, shot glasses $1.19, drinking glasses $1.49, stemware $1.49, water bottles $1.49 to $3.99. I wonder if that's worth anything. Lot of these, $4.99. Leak pad. I don't think they were used. 2001. $5.99 a piece. Oh my gosh, got a deluge. There's buckets everywhere for catching rain. Okay, let's go look at the purses. Oh, I wonder if I could have just got Hawaiian shirts here. How much is a Goodwill shirt? Collared shirts are $7.99. One's kind of decent. And sorry, back to a voiceover. Once I got into this clothing section, and then you'll see once I go into the women's clothing section and bags and shoes, the music was insanity again. So I'm sorry, you get to hear my voice and not the sounds of the Goodwill, but if I do hear the music go down somewhat, I will definitely cut it through. But at this point, I am just going through men's shirts. There's actually a lot of good men's shirts. I wanted to be picky about what I bought, and so I did decide to go through a lot of the men's clothing, which I usually don't, but they also had separate pricing at the regular Goodwill for men's Hawaiian tropical shirts, so I was really contemplating what would be worth getting. Okay, some of the purses are being restocked. What is this? Jazz Sport. So we're gonna just let them do what they need, and then I'll sneak over there. Exula. Nirvana. I did find an amazing shirt. So that should be, I don't know, $7.99 or maybe less. I'm not sure. It fits a lot of categories, so I'm not exactly sure. Betsy Johnson, New York. I've never seen that type of tag before. Is this one of the older? 100% wool. I'll think about that one. I need to look at their pricing. Oh my. The shoes would be. I saw some like tennis shoes, but not like any other shoes. I'm sure they're down there somewhere. Diane something. Gilman? What is this? Igara? Like, I've had to look up a lot of brands that I'm just like, I don't know what these are. So I may have to come back and do a little peek at what those are. Oh my gosh, look at this masterpiece. Recent works. Made in Korea. Bags were a little sad panda. I did like this bag. It was a Dahlia's. I'm pretty sure it was vintage, and I think around $5.99 or $6.99. But after looking at it a little bit, the zippers were broken, so I ended up not getting that. But some vintage Dahlia's can sell really well, even though it's not an expensive brand. So I did like it, but it's broke, so I decided to pass. This brand looked to be priced pretty high on eBay. I think it's a foreign brand, I can't remember exactly what it is, but when I looked it up, they were priced high, but none had sold in the US anyway. And so I decided to leave it, but people were pricing it around $60 to $80. But I did leave it because there were no solds to back it up. I'm going to look some of those things up, and then I'm going to look at blazers and dresses, and then I'm going to head over to the purse section. So stay tuned, I'll be back. They actually had some decent purses over here. A few brands I didn't know and I had to look up. They had a little section over here of Vera Bradley. They were ranging from $7 to $15 a piece. And then they had, I think some Michael Kors, here, some Coach, some Rebecca Minkoff, but either they were in really rough shape for the price that I would want to pay, or they were just priced too high. So I did leave most of what I found behind, but if they were a lower price point, I probably would have got it. Also, while I was looking at purses, there was a Goodwill employee rearranging the whole section, so I'm just trying to kind of go as fast and discreet as I can to not be in her way or get in trouble, to be honest, for filming. But I was trying to kind of get through these kind of fast so she could finish cleaning up her section or rearranging. I actually really liked this Rebecca Minkoff. I think they had it priced around $9 or $10, but the chain, the shoulder strap chain, was super tarnished and almost like chalky feeling. I don't really know how to describe it. So the chain was pretty much needed to be replaced, and Rebecca Minkoff in general doesn't sell extremely well. Some certain styles can, so I decided to leave it just because the condition wasn't the best. Okay, I just got two items there, a Banana Republic shirt with little toucans on it, and then the Balmain Harris shirt. Balmain is a expensive brand. I'm not sure how just like the t-shirts, not t-shirts, but button-down shirts will do. And I am off to a new spot, and I will see you then. Bye!